Hey, everybody. Good to have you with us. We're live, or at least coming at you live right now. This is the Jim Masters Show, entertainment, lifestyle, variety talk show series. Pleasure to have you guys in our company and a pleasure to be in your company. Thanks for taking time out of your day to stop by JMS Central, or as our viewers call it, Levity Hall, where we share some light, love, and levity and good times with great entertainment and terrific guests coming in from Broadway and Hollywood, television, film, music, stage, culinary arts, sports, inspiration, everything we can squeeze, everything we can throw at you so we can connect with you and have a good time. We always learn something. We always have a good time together, being entertained, inspired, informed, like the old school talk show series you remember, but with a modern twist and vibe. How is everybody doing today? It's a really, really busy day here today. Some rain, some storms coming through the coast here in the Northeast. Of course, you guys know we're in the New York area, along the southern New England coast between New York and Boston. Beautiful time of the year here, summertime. And it's been a really rainy and stormy day today, but we are here, and it was a very busy day. I was on the air on radio earlier and then had some television scripts to write for some shoots that are happening this weekend. And our guests know all about all of that, television shoots and filming and writing and producing and being talents, because they are incredible award-winning talents themselves, actresses, writers, singing, dancing, musicians. I mean, they do it all. And they have teamed up to create something that is really, really cool. And maybe perhaps my green sweater might be giving it away. Yes, it involves Irish. It involves celebrating Ireland, culture, food, people, storylines, and so much more. We're talking about the film Cupid Fest, and we have the stars as well as creators and writers who've put this all together. And it's really exciting because a lot of people, a lot of fanfare has been building around this film, and it's going to be amazing. We are talking about, now they are veteran actresses. Maggie Egan-Cummings has been on some of your favorite TV shows, films, and so much more. Jennifer Lynn O'Hara, same thing. And they are here gracing us with their wit and their wisdom. Maybe they'll even throw in a little Irish brogue for us as well. Perhaps. But they are here, and we are celebrating their film, their careers, and so much more. Now, Maggie sent me a picture earlier as far as how she was going to look this evening for our conversation. And there she is. Doesn't she look absolutely stunning? You recognize her, don't you? Absolutely. And then Jennifer, she had sent in a photo, said, Jim, how's this look? This is what I'm going to go with tonight. Perfect, huh? Yes, we are so excited. They are two dear friends, and they have put together an extraordinary film that we're very excited about. Now, Maggie is north of Los Angeles, and Jennifer is just south. So we rounded it out and we said they're coming to us live from greater Los Angeles, California. Hello to our JMS Levity family, everybody that is watching live around the world. You guys can comment as well. Don't forget, when the show is live, and we do archive this, so you can watch this later in its entirety. You can share it on your social media. But don't forget, if you would like to comment right now as our virtual studio audience around the world, not a lot of people do that, but we give you that opportunity. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, the channel you're watching right now, which is Jim Masters TV. Subscribe to the channel, and that way there you will be able to comment in our exclusive JMS Levity chat room. We actually have a JMS Levity chat room, and that's the chat room where you guys can say hello to each other, and sometimes we sprinkle some of your comments on the screen. If you want to take it a step further and want to support the show, you can do a super chat, super emoji, super stickers while the show is live, or anytime on the YouTube channel. Super thanks. But do subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's no cost when you subscribe. You just hit that red button that says subscribe, and you can comment during the show and say hello to each other. We have, our faithful, they say hello. They've become friends of each other. That's something that grew out of this show, because you guys know I'm a very interactive host. So really, really cool stuff. Now, I want to tell you a little about before we bring them on, the backgrounds, the extraordinary backgrounds of Maggie Egan-Cummings and Jennifer Lynn O'Hara. Again, you've seen them on so many shows and specials and so much more. They've really been involved in incredible works. Maggie has worked with such legends as Mel Gibson in What Women Want. She's worked with George Clooney in ER, Jerry Seinfeld in Seinfeld. Also, Christopher Walken in Communion. She's played singer Jo Stafford in Sinatra. She's had a recurring role as the ISN News Anchor on Babylon 5 and Crusade. She's been on Grey's Anatomy, The Mentalist, Touch, CSI, Malcolm in the Middle, and on Standoff. She's been in over 600 commercials for such notables as the Disney Channel, Countrywide, Honda Ridgeline, Glucerna, honey baked ham. So you have the honey baked ham first, and then you have a chocolate bar that's Glucerna. You balance out the sugar. She's created her own one-woman show, Isn't It Romantic? And she's teaching and directing. And with all these accomplishments, Maggie's greatest pride and joy, of course, her family, Jim and Emmie Cummings. I tell you, really, really cool. And that's really just the short list of Maggie's background. And Jennifer, while making the decision to become an actress, was never something that she had to do. She's always known she wanted to make her life performing in the fine arts from the earliest memories. She's been singing and dancing, acting, playing instruments, writing and painting. Pay attention when you see Jennifer Lynn here on the show. Look to behind her. You'll see a violin, a viola that she knows how to play right behind her hanging on the wall. I said, "Are those real?" She said, "Yes, they are. I've been playing them since 7 years old." She's got me beat. I started at 12. Plays instruments, writing, painting. Today, her life's passion is also her life's work. She says, "How lucky am I?" When not doing one of those things, she'd be found riding horses, walking on the beach, sailing, whale watching, traveling, developing recipes, and using her friends as taste test guinea pigs, or trying to talk herself out of adopting every stray animal that she sees. And again, she's been in a lot of great shows. She's got screenplays and books and so much more. She co-starred on The Kids Are All Right and Hello Realtor, Dear Maxwell, Married with Secrets, Burner Book, Dating in the Middle Ages, How Do I Look? A Single Girl's Guide to, Disney Cast TV, The Final Minute, and lots more. The Nightmare Machine, Cupid Fest, of course, the lead, Tough Love, and Missed Adolescence, Embedded, Channel Zero, just the short list. Television, film, theater, all of it. They're very accomplished ladies that we have here that we are so excited to have on the show. So gang, do put your hands together and join me as we do our illustrious lovely welcome to our guests joining us again from the greater Los Angeles area, Hollywood, Tinseltown, all of the above. Maggie Egan-Cummings and Jennifer Lynn O'Hara joining us here on the show. Ladies, welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live.
Thank you.
Hello.
So nice to be here.
I hope that intro matched maybe something similar that you'd get at the Oscars, perhaps, hopefully.
I'm only hoping, except they probably would have been, like cutting you off with orchestras or something.
Right.
Too bad. You keep talking, Jim.
Yeah, Jennifer would have had to pull the violin off and go, wah, wah, wah. Yeah. Well, welcome, ladies. It's so cool to have you here. First of all, how are you? How have you been? It's been a crazy, couple of years. Time to reflect, reboot, re-energize, reconnect, and also look at next chapter in our lives. I'm sporting the green Irish sweater for you guys. We all have Irish within us, which is kind of cool. And very excited about this project that you're working on, Cupid Fest. But before we get into any of that, how are you guys doing? Maggie, I'll start with you.
I'm doing great. I guess one of the benefits of having an Airstream during COVID was we could still get out and travel a little bit.
Yes.
I mean, we weren't getting on a plane, but, we could, stay cocooned and go to nearby Southern California places to go relax and get out of the house. You go a little stir crazy.
Yes, you do. Yeah. So you've been doing your thing. You've been busy. You've been writing. You've been creating, even while all of this craziness has been going on, huh?
Yes. Yeah, no, Zoom certainly saved me. I don't know about anybody else, but I mean, Jennifer and I could still get together by Zoom. Um, I could take classes by Zoom. It just really helped me stay connected.
Yeah.
I'm sure your show must have been like a welcome godsend for a lot of people who were stuck at home. I mean, entertainment as a whole got us through this without hurting each other too much. Don't you think? I mean, we
Yeah, what
couldn't
is that
go to
song?
movies.
Da 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 da, hurting each other. Da 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 da.
Uh-huh.
Now
Oh,
suddenly I'm hearing that in my head. What is that
Yeah.
song? Da 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 da.
yes.
Tearing each other apart. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it was the brother and sister act, wasn't it?
Now,
Anyway,
wouldn't you would know that, weren't you, Maggie? Because weren't you on Star Search?
I
And I'm
was.
laughing because I heard what you were saying earlier, where somebody remembered that and they were honored to meet you because you were on Star Search.
Yes, I
Ed
just
McMahon.
exactly Ed McMahon. The glasses, they were like two TV screens. It was crazy. I mean, that was a thrill, and it was an amazing thing because they saw like I don't know 75,000 people or something crazy like that around America, and I was lucky enough to get on. So I was just having lunch with Robin Dearden, who is Bryan Cranston's wife.
Bryan Cranston, yes.
Kind of a name, kind of an.
Did you initially meet him from the Malcolm in the Middle
I had
time
known him before that because
before that?
auditions, you know.
He's one of the great actors of our time. When you see him going from something like Malcolm in the Middle to Breaking Bad to Network on Broadway to he's just really
So
yes.
I
Mark,
saw
the
him.
Carpenters. That song was
The
from the
Carpenters.
Carpenters.
That's what I was trying to think of. Very good,
Was
Jennifer.
it Hurting Each Other?
Yeah,
Hurting each
each
other.
other.
Thanks. You win, Mark. You win
Mark,
lots of levity.
And by the way, I did see Network on Broadway. I had run into Robin at a Pier 1 in Studio City, and she told me he was going to be doing Network. I'm like, well, I think I'm going to be in New York in April. So she said, well, I can get you house seats. So myself and two other friends, I was in New York, and they're from the area. We all went to see Brian in Network, and I was telling Robin today, it was like watching a master class.
Yeah.
He was amazing. He would be in one scene, like as a news anchor, and then that scene was done, and he crossed stage to go sit down at the bar on stage left. And by the time he got there, he was drunk. Because
Unbelievable.
the next scene, I mean, to
Yeah.
watch it was just amazing.
Now, and you know what that news anchor thing's all about, right?
I got with you.
There she is from Babylon 5, ISN News Anchor Live.
That's right, for Babylon 5, and that was for those 5 years it was on, and then I was on as the same character for Crusade because J. Michael Straczynski, JMS, same initials as you, with the Jim Master Show. Anyway,
I like that. Yes,
he brought me back because he felt it would add a sense of credibility and continuity to the show to still have that same news anchor. So I was thrilled. He gave me, for being a news anchor, I really got some nice roles, some nice scenes to do. I mean, they broke in on my station and we were taken over, and I thought, well, that's that. I'm out. I was pregnant at the time. I told no one. And
oh wait, a JMS exclusive. Okay, now we're good. Thanks for saving it all this time. Thank you so much. You truly are a class act, saving that information all this time until you got on the Jim Masters show. That is amazing. Thank you. I appreciate that, Maggie.
I remember after Emmie was born, I got a phone call and they said, they want you back as the news anchor. I'm like, really? I thought Earth blew up or something. What did I know? And and they brought me back on, and I did this, return to the airwaves with this tearful. It was just lovely. I mean, it wasn't your usual. And now, news at 11. It was.
Yeah.
I had some juicy stuff. It was good.
Mark Isaac says, I was a producer for Maggie's news anchor sister at WTEN Albany. Your sister works for Channel 10, WTN in Albany?
She used to. She was
Channel 10, yeah. Right at
she's
home with Channel 10.
yes, and she was in
Wow.
New York City with WABC for quite a few years as well.
Tracy?
Tracy Egan.
Tracy Egan? Really?
Mhm.
Wow, she's fantastic. I didn't realize that connection. She very, very smooth, professional on Channel 7 Eyewitness News for years with Bill
Yes.
Buttell, Roger Grimsby, and
My God.
Ernie Anastas and Connie Tong. Even Tom Snyder came through.
She
Mark
worked with Tom
Hines, who then
too.
went to CNBC. They anchored on the weekends. Yeah, because I'm in the New York area here, so we grew up with all the New York stations.
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Is she retired now? Is she doing her thing
Well,
elsewhere?
she moved to upstate New York to Albany and was a news anchor there for many years. And now she works for the state of New York, and she's in the division where they help develop racehorse farms in upstate New York.
Wow.
And she has a 100-acre farm with thoroughbred horses, and it's
Very
just
nice.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, hello to Mark, who worked with your sister. That is
I know.
incredible.
And he's by the way, if you ever need a resume done or you need some PR done, that you contact that Mark.
That's what he does, huh?
He does that for me. He does a lot of things. He's producing, he's writing, he's directing his own stuff. He's an amazing guy.
That is absolutely awesome. Well, great to have him here on the Jim Masters show. And yes, we're all talking the same language. I work in television, radio, have for years, and I know what you guys are talking about. Cool stuff. So how about you, Jennifer? Tell us about some of the cool things that you've been doing, and how have you been through all of this craziness?
I echo Maggie's comment about, thank goodness for technology that we can stay connected even when we're distancing. Because gosh, it was such a, I guess you have to, look for the blessings in the struggles, right? And
Yes.
and it kind of gave me it took away the excuses that I was giving myself for not finishing a screenplay and not finishing that book and not doing those things. So I was able to do a lot of writing. My garden was on point. It was beautiful. So I finished a lot of those things that I've just, always in the back burner because I don't have the time. I'll do that later. Well, now you got nothing but time. So, get to it. So, so I finished, I finished a book, a couple of screenplays, and got some stuff in the works.
That's really, really cool. Let's go back a little bit in terms of how you even got introduced to the arts, to entertainment, starting with you, Jennifer. Because you've done singing and you're a musician and a dancer, I mean, an actress, and a writer, you've done it all, author as well. Initially, did you come from a home that was filled with music and a lot going on? What was it like? With a name like O'Hara, I would have imagined there was a lot of joke telling and laughs. And
my mom was a big fan of PBS, actually, and so when we had the TV on, it was usually on PBS, and so we were exposed to a lot of those, the classics and music and plays and travel and all the really the good rich stuff of life. But my mom said that I was singing before I could talk and dancing before I could walk. So, like you said in that intro, I never really made a decision. It's always just something that I've known. So I started dancing when I was very, very young. Started playing instruments when I was, I think, 7 years old, and I've added to my group of instruments that I play. And it's really, it's been my life's work and my life's passion. And I'm so lucky and so blessed that I've been able to do this, because it's not everybody, I know not everybody gets to merge the things they love to do and the things they have to do. So I'm very blessed.
what was the first, would you say, early opportunity for you in your career that would be one of those pivotal door opening opportunities where you got noticed? What would you say was first for you?
I was 6 years old in first grade, and I played the title role in our whole school did a production of Chicken Little.
Wow.
I got to play Chicken Little at 6 years old. I still remember my line.
You're intuitive. You're a mind reader. Uh-oh. I was just about to say, do you remember a line?
The sky is falling. The sky is falling. Yeah. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
And how relevant and topical to today's times. You were ahead of your time at 6 years old. And you're turning beet red live on camera. Of course, that's the Irish coming out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is funny. You have some beautiful instruments that are hanging on the wall there. Tell us about those beauties.
The one on top is a violin. The one on the bottom is a viola. Also too big to hang on my wall. I have a cello. I also have a bass, a couple of guitars,
Wow.
mandolin. My current obsession is the ukulele, or the ukulele, as they say.
Yes, right. Wow.
Is
What
so much
brought
fun.
you into that? What was it about the ukulele? You just want to stick with the strings and learn it all?
Yeah, I think there's just something kind of whimsical, and you can't help but be happy when you hear ukulele music. And I wanted to be part of that. So
Yes.
I started playing, and it's just so much fun. So much fun.
You've had an opportunity also to be in some terrific television shows, lots of theater and film, and it's really amazing. What would you say would be in that realm one of the big opportunities where you got noticed for your acting prowess?
Yeah, I've been in, I think, over 70 to count, 70 theatrical productions. And I think one of my favorite roles was one of the very first times that the musical Nonsense was
Denny Goggin.
it
He's a
was
friend. Yeah, the creator of it. He's
done on the West.
terrific.
Yeah. And this was the very first Nonsense before all the other iterations of the show came out.
Cindy Williams and all the others who've been a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And, it was so kind of groundbreaking at the time. And we didn't know if we were going to get audience members or picketers, because there were people that were, you can't make fun of religion, and, and they didn't know what it was.
Right.
Until they came and saw the show. And then we had standing ovations with multiple curtain calls every single night. And they kept bringing us back because it was, sold out shows every single night. They kept bringing us back for, I think, 3 years.
Wow.
And it was one of those experiences where you could have the worst day. Your cat just died, which actually happened. Your cat just died. You broke up with your boyfriend.
Yeah.
All of those things that could happen, and you just arrive, at the theater door, just dragging everything you could drag, and then you get on the stage and you have that experience, and the audience reacts, and you feel their energy. And did I lose you? Are you still there?
We're just giving you a full screen.
Okay. It just threw me for a minute. Whew, you would never know as a theater actress. I just couldn't ad lib through that one.
All alone, right?
Exactly.
What do I do next? What button do I push?
But then, yeah, and you can't help but absorb that energy, and you ended the night feeling fantastic, no matter what had happened to you during the day. And that was 6 nights a week for almost 3 years. It was amazing.
That is absolutely fantastic. How about you, Maggie? You've been doing this a long time, and you've had obviously, an incredible background as well, and all these shows, commercials. I mean, you've hit upon it all. And your sister, obviously, in television and news. Where did all that come from early on for you growing up?
Well, we had a chicken coop in the backyard.
I bet, folks, that's not how you expected it to start, right? You thought it would be a penthouse on the Upper West Side, probably, and Dad owned CBS or something.
We had a chicken coop that no longer had chickens, but it became our playhouse. And so we would put on plays in the backyard and entertain the neighbors. The parents would have to come out and sit through whatever horrible show we had. But I do remember one with Tracy that was very funny. It was quite a hit. We did our own version of Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet. And I was Juliet in the big, huge window that the chickens must have been dying to break through. But anyway, it had no screen or anything. It was just an open space. So I sat in the windowsill, smelling a rose, going, Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Sniffing the rose. And my sister was outside and down a couple steps on the lawn. And she said, down here in the trash can. So I walked slowly and dramatically out the door and down the steps with my rose, sniffing it as I went. And when I got to my sister Tracy as Romeo in the garbage can, I went, ew. And I just went back up the stairs and left. That was the end of Romeo and Juliet. It was an abbreviated version of Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet.
Jennifer, did that eel that she did sound a little bit like Lucy Ricardo? That was really cool. Can you do the lips too? I
love her. She was one of my mentors between Lucille Ball and Lily Tomlin and Carol Burnett.
Carol Burnett, yes.
My heart.
You picked some good ones there too.
Yeah.
I do miss Phyllis Diller too.
Oh,
she was a riot. God, I've looked at these videos on YouTube and everything else. She could go bang. The jokes are so fast that you can't even, and Rodney Dangerfield, similar, you can't recover from the first one. You can't get a full breath until the next one's out. My mother-in-law, that's like
Ed Sullivan show. Oh God, I'm so old. I remember she was on that, and ha 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 ha, thanks. Oh my God. Yes, television was my mentor.
Yeah, absolutely. So the chicken coop story is fantastic, but was there another break that really opened up things for you?
Well, I would say that when I was 14 years old, my mother asked me if I wanted to do a summer theater workshop at the school. And I said, yes. And this allowed me to play Mommy in The American Dream, who's supposed to be about 35. I was 14.
Wow.
I had to say,
you're an old soul.
And it's theater of the absurd. So weird things are said like, I didn't play Mommy. Mommy says to me, I played Mrs. Barker. Mommy says to me, are you sure you're comfortable? Won't you take off your dress? And Mrs. Barker, 14 years old, supposed to be 35, says, I don't mind if I do. And I had to take off my dress. I had on the thickest slip I could find and a two-piece bathing suit because I felt a little bit less naked that way. Yeah. And I'm looking out into the audience, 4 rows from where I am in a bright daylight. It was in the band room. It wasn't even on a stage. So it was like really well lit.
Yeah.
And I'm looking out and I see my mom sitting next to one of her best friends, the wife of State Supreme Court Judge John H. Pennock, sitting there. And I'm like, oh, geez, I'm never going to live this one down. It was, oh my God, nerve wracking. Now, this same teacher, Dan DiNicola, also was my teacher in high school. And he taught us, he directed some shows. I got to be his assistant director. I was in his film class. He's like, here's a camera, go make a movie. And our little movie about 2 innocent girls living in a basement with no food, like as if we were in, the Depression era or something.
Yeah.
We have no food to eat. So we divide up a little, remember those little sunshine raisins? We divide them up. And then somebody comes knocking at the door. It was one of our teachers from school with the Snively Whiplash mustache, and he's like, and we do all these things on the chalkboard. You must pay the rent, and then erase it and write the next thing. And it was so cute. It got to go in this. My claim to fame in Burnt Hills is that my little film got to be in the Spartan Spotlight,
Wow.
which is like the school sketch comedy show.
Wow.
And, sketch comedy. I mean, the Carol
Yeah.
Burnett show especially.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah. I used to love when they used to do the spoofs on the commercials.
Ah,
Yes.
The tidy ball man was actually in the tank.
yes.
Used to get fed up with them and flush them down, right? They were, and of course, Harvey Korman, Tim Conway together. That was pure gold. Tim was not a regular, he wasn't always on. And then they realized and they brought him on. Lyle Wagner, of course, the announcer who I always loved the voice of God announcers, Ernie Anderson, who then became the voice of the ABC network, the Love Boat and all that. And just terrific stuff, right? And you don't see a lot of that today. It's
I'm telling you, that Carol Burnett show, it's like it was a lifesaver for me. I mean, it was just joy watching that show.
Yeah.
And it's so cool for me to be able to call Chris Corman my friend. You know what I mean? The son of Harvey Korman.
Harvey Korman. Yeah, he's a dear guy and friend of ours, friend of the show as well. Just really. So I do have a question for you, Maggie. So what do women really want?
They want residual checks.
They want you to have a good credit score. No debt. No debt. They don't care about the astrological signs anymore. A good credit score and you're in.
Yeah. So you're talking about the movie What Women Want.
So you worked with Mel Gibson and What Women Want. Pretty cool. And tell us about that.
Well, I got to work. This meant I got to work with Nancy Meyers. Nancy Meyers is the goddess of romantic comedies. And boy, if she wants a new romantic comedy to direct, we have one, don't we, JJ? We will. Yes,
we do.
Yes, she was. I was thrilled to get to audition for her. I was thrilled to get cast by her, and then to do scenes with Mel Gibson. Come on, I remember going on the set and hearing him laugh somewhere in the distance. I'm like, oh, that's Mel. And I was very excited. It was truly a thrill.
That is cool. You also next George Clooney in ER. I mean, we're on a continued high. Whose dad, of course, Nick Clooney, veteran television news anchor, Los Angeles. I believe it's KNBC News 4 LA.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Nick Clooney,
So I was on the set of ER, and all right, this is another exclusive for you.
Okay, pull up the graphic. There it is. JMS exclusive.
Okay, so there I am on a gurney, right? And
on a gurney.
I'm on a gurney.
From the chicken coop to the gurney.
I know. That's the life of an actor. We will act anywhere. Yeah. And so there I am, and I'm supposed to have been beaten up by my children. Okay, it's not a pretty story, but that's the fact. So I am lying there with some of the other actresses and George Clooney. And George Clooney keeps telling jokes, and he's cracking us up. And then I can't remember the other actor's name, but you know him as the tall African-American actor who was the doctor on that show.
Oh, I can see him now. Yes.
I can't remember his name right off the bat, but he came in and he'd go, he was about to enter into the scene. So he goes, will you guys settle down? He was like kind of scolding us for having a good time. And I'm supposed to be dying and I'm going, So it wasn't good. But so he comes in and we just, oh, I know what it was. So he comes in and we're now calm. We've pulled it together, and then he blew his line, and we were all like, not trying to laugh, but that was kind of funny. But picture this: George Clooney so close to me, his head tipping. I'm on a gurney, his head tipping over me, his little eyelashes tickled my forehead right here. Everybody, right here. George Clooney, me, eyelashes. Just saying.
Did you notice, Jennifer, those eyelashes, particular eyelashes, are still sticking up?
She hasn't watched it since then. Yeah.
Does
was funny.
Mr. Clooney know the impact he had on you and continues to have on you?
I hit it well. I'm
You
a good
were a
actor.
professional. Yeah,
I
you
was.
and still am. I mean,
That's right. He was funny. He was funny telling jokes, and he was telling about. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm never gonna get married. I'm like, what a waste. No, you need to get married, man. It's like, no, I'm never gonna get married. And I'm like, I watched him for years.
You
not
did.
get married, and I'm just so happy to see him happily married and the father. Of twins.
Yes.
It's so
Isn't
cute.
that amazing?
Yeah.
I tell you, it's really incredible. Absolutely. This is a cool shot. We were teasing a little bit in the introduction. Tell us about
Okay.
tell us about this. It's cool. What were you in here?
I was just doing headshots, and we decided to do something a little wry. And I had the Randy Rainbow sunglasses,
Oh yeah.
and we just did, and I had those crazy earrings, so it just had to be done. It just it went with the sweater.
I'd went with the sweater. Here's a great. I like this one too.
Oh yeah.
What's happening there?
The LA Web Festival. It was for a web series called The Doll, and where I played the mother of the lead, and he happened to be to my he was a doll collector like I was. We were all in this, it's like Barbie doll collection. They have these groups of people that do go to conventions about Barbie dolls and stuff. We couldn't name ours Barbie, but whatever. So my son was in a competing group from me, and that was bad enough, but he was dating a woman who was not a size 0. She was curvy, and I was like, oh my god. So into the Barbie look. So I play, and she was a Southern Belle at that, so she was like a chocolate covered spider.
Wow, that's very, very cool. This is a great shot.
Oh
wow,
one of my Disney Channel commercial spots.
Yeah, is that what that was? Yeah, tell us about that. That's cool.
Well, I went out for an audition, thought I was getting one. I got the job. I thought it was one commercial, but it turned into 7 years.
Did it really?
The spokesperson for the Disney Channel, and I figured it out one time. I think I did about 560 commercials and voiceovers for them.
Was there a certain phrase, branding line that you always had to say?
Yes. Hi, I'm Nancy, an operator here at Disney Channel. And then I would go into today's spiel. So it was a good gig. It's a good gig.
That is cool.
Thank you. Oh, 911.
Yes. You were on that too.
I was on that. Yes. It was a joy. I got to work with Angela.
Oh yes. Yes.
Sorry, I'm not good at this. It's not you, Angela. It's me. Angela Bassett. She and I had a scene in the house. I played a woman who was penned up in the pandemic, in a house with my estranged not quite yet ex-husband. So we're estranged. We hate each other. He's taping the floor so that I stay on one side, he stays. It's bad. Okay.
It's a tough one. Yeah.
And I'm a vegan and he's a ravenous carnivore. So I had to kill him. And then I stuff him in a wall and entomb him like,
Would you overdose him with turmeric or something?
I stabbed him right in the back.
Ooh.
I know.
Sweet Maggie
but
from the chicken coop. That's where she learned it.
Exactly. No, we never had the chickens, but Carlos Cotto, one of the writer producers of the show, said, Maggie, we had to cut some of it because you were too funny. It's supposed to be a comedy show.
That's
just
inherently.
It was written funny, so it just came out funny.
That's what happens, right? I tell you. You also worked with Jerry Seinfeld in Seinfeld. That must have been cool.
Yeah, and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. So they
Yes.
couldn't keep a straight face. They were having a hard time. They were like, they were just making each other laugh so much. So we did all these takes and they just couldn't get it. And I'm standing there. It's the episode called The Airport. I don't remember what season, but it's called The Airport. And I'm at the ticket counter and they can't stop laughing. So finally I do one of these, to the director. I just turn and go, and that brought me extra money because doing this was used in the last show, the finale, when they did all the bloopers.
Yeah.
And so I made a little extra money having been in that one too.
Just from that turn, huh? I tell you, slowly she turns.
I mean, I had lines and stuff in the actual script, but they just kept rolling when they were fun. They were having a good time. Clearly, they love each other.
Could you imagine? Yeah, you could. It's what, like Carol Burnett's show and some of these others, you can tell when the cast really respects each other's talents, and then also they play off. The casting is so perfect. The Dick Van Dyke Show, another one where perfect casting, everything, just the writers, Carl Reiner, the whole thing, Sheldon Leonard, all of it ideal, which is really fantastic. Your background, Maggie. I'm craving sushi for some reason.
I know, right? Little Japanese restaurant, and I've got the kimono on. I know. I'm making myself hungry.
That's Christopher working with Christopher Walken in Communion. That's cool, huh?
Yeah, I remember. It was about aliens. So I remember walking back to the set. He was coming away from the set. We meet outside on some sidewalk, and he's so tall. So he's looking down at me like this, and he's like, "So, what do you think of all these alien things? Do you believe in that?" And I'm like, oh my God, this is a test. I better answer it right or they'll fire me. So I said, well, I think it's possible. And he goes, I just think it's the strange imaginings of lonely people. And I'm like, okay, well, I wouldn't know about strange imaginings of lonely people. I guess it's Chris Walken. I say that with love because he was wonderful. But he always plays the odd guys.
He plays the odd guys. When you did the news anchor roles, was Tracy a mentor for you at all because she had been doing news anchoring and reporting for so long? Could you rely on her for tips?
I didn't call her and say, how do you do this? I certainly watched her.
How do you say this just in?
I think you got it, Jim. You could have had my job easy.
Film at 11, bulletins at once.
You would have been perfect. I think it is interesting. Maybe it's sort of in the blood a little bit.
It's in the blood.
My dad was in the Army and he would do the sports cast.
So he would do
in Alaska.
Oh boy. Wow. Cool stuff. Got another shot here too. What was this from?
Oh, whoops. Well,
obviously they got her order wrong at the restaurant.
Well,
I told you I want my cocoa with whipped cream. With whipped cream.
I would have said that too, Jim. It's us in rehearsal for our movie Cupid Fest.
Yes, which is something that's very near and dear to your hearts.
Yes,
and we're gonna talk about that. How did you guys meet? How'd you come together? Were you working on other projects previously? How'd you come together?
We were in an acting class together. And while during that acting class, I took my husband and my daughter on a trip to Ireland because my mom took me to Ireland when I was graduated high school. So when Emmie graduated college, I'm like, we have to go. So Jim and Emmie and I all went to Ireland. And while I was there, we passed through this little town called Lisdoonvarna, where they have once a year, the little town of 800 people just blossoms to like 80,000 over the month of September. People coming, women, this is how he said it. Women, the tour guide on our bus through Lisdoonvarna said, once a year, women from around the world come to meet and marry an Irishman. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm taking quick little videos and snapping pictures. And I posted on Facebook. And I said, can you believe this, you guys? It's a matchmaking festival for meeting Irishmen to marry. And Jennifer said,
when is it, woman? When? You know, single Irish girl.
Yes, and I said something like, "Oh, why hasn't anybody done this as a movie?" And another friend of mine typed in the comments, "You write it, Maggie," and it just sort of like hit me as, yeah. So when I got back to class, talked to Jennifer about it, and she said she wanted to write it with me because we both love Ireland. We both have Irish roots, and we both created this feature that is like our love letter to Ireland. We just adore it, and I think it's going to be a real cute movie.
Love and Adventure on the Emerald Isle, which I think is really, really cool. There's a little bit about it there as well, which is awesome. But didn't it also start with the inspiration you received when you would go to the wall and see this picture?
Oh, yes, my mom's picture of the, I think it might even be I'm not sure, might be the O'Brien Castle. But she had that over her desk for years. And I decided we would use that in the movie because it's truly from Ireland and it's of Ireland. And that
is so cool. And we'll talk more about that. Jennifer, I just want to dive a little bit into some of your background too. What a great shot this is. What was this from?
This was at the Bentonville Film Festival. And they were doing a preview of Where the Crawdads Sing, like, a week or two before it actually came out to the public. So I got to see, just the amazing film and meet Delia Owens and Livy Newman, the director, and, Elizabeth from 3000 Pictures was part of Sony, and just talk to them and just see this amazing. It's a powerhouse film that was done by powerhouse women, like all the director, the writer, the screenwriter, producer, all women. And it was such a joy to see at this film festival that focuses a lot of its main focus is on underrepresented films. So films of, women, people of color, LGBTQ plus all those kinds of groups that tend to be underrepresented in the entertainment industry. And they're getting more attention now, thanks to the Bentonville Film Festival and so many other initiatives like, Hello Sunshine, with Reese Witherspoon, who's one of the producers on the project. And so it was such a joy to be able to see that film, to see the preview and talk to those incredible women. Very inspirational, since Maggie and I are kind of embarking on this project ourselves of writing and producing and working on a film that's of women of a certain age. So it was a wonderful experience.
That is so cool. That's a great story too. We've got a couple more here. How about this?
Oh, that is from the film festival. You see Delia Owens directly behind me, Livy Newman to Delia's left. She's the director. Elizabeth is to Delia's right. She's the producer from 3000 Pictures. And then there's Wendy it's the far right of the picture, but to the left of Livy. And that's Wendy she's one of the directors of the Bentonville Film Festival. And then my friend Melanie, I'm sorry, Melanie, that I cut off your head. But she's there. But yeah, gosh.
You could have been taking a bite of a sandwich. We would never know.
Oh. Exactly. So yeah, that's the power crew.
You're always on the move, aren't you?
I don't like to say, I don't do idle well. I don't do bored well. So
what was happening here, right? It looks like is there a horse pulling you in front, right?
Yeah. If Prince Charming isn't going to come find me in a horse-drawn carriage, I want to rent my own carriage.
Yes. And when you chase after, here you are, ready to go. Now you're turning purple.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Wow,
Irish.
Look at that. It's not her lighting. Her ring light didn't burn out.
No, it's just,
that is
wow. That was a film shoot, or that was a photo shoot that I did because not every woman. Oh my gosh, am I getting more purple?
I was gonna say,
Could I get even worse? Wow, I'm like an Oompa Loompa right now. I'm like,
I'm
ooh.
like, is this? Are we? If somebody tuning in right now, they think that they're watching Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory.
The color there. Oh my gosh, wow. I wear my emotion on my face
Yes,
apparently.
you do, which is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
So
But
this is
that's a cool photo.
Thank you. That's a photo shoot I did. The fabulous Abby Crawford did my hair and makeup, and Chris Woolley did the photography for that. Because it's just an example to, the majority of the world's population is not a size 0.
Right.
And, that is, I just wanted to show that normal women can be sexy as heck. So I did that photo shoot just to say, this is what I look like.
Case in
And
point, some more beautiful photos of you in different
thank you.
incarnations here. Yeah. Huh?
Sage Kirkpatrick did those.
As photographers know, it's all in the eyes,
eyes.
when you're doing,
Yeah.
it really captures the eyes.
Sage Kirkpatrick does my headshots, and she's an amazing artist. My eyes in every picture look slightly different because of where she puts me and
the placement.
the lighting. And it's amazing what you can do with light.
Cool photo here.
O'Dowd.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Chris O'Dowd is.
Do you need some water, or?
I do. I'm getting a little parched. A little bit blunt. Chris O'Dowd he's our dream man for the role of Liam in our film Cupid Fest.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of the blue sky dream. He's the impossible get. So Chris O'Dowd, here's a special message for Chris. So Chris,
JMS exclusive.
So Chris O'Dowd, if you're listening, or Chris O'Dowd's people, if you're out there listening,
yes.
No, that was at Ireland Week.
1555 Murray Hill something. That is funny.
So we got to meet him, and
now you're doing something out of the house, right? Is it a self-tape or a commercial within the house? Or?
Yeah, it was a commercial within the house that this is one of the results of COVID's and COVID, and you do commercials from your home, and you have to have your own
now, and great. Yeah, that's cool to be able to do that, huh? What was that one for?
That was for a home product, and so having the home background was actually what they wanted, so it kind of worked for me. But it was it was one of those home insurance kind of things.
Oh yeah, sure, absolutely. That's really cool stuff. So you guys love Ireland, our beautiful Emerald Isle, and you've come up with Maggie, was this your idea first? Did you come up with the concept, or did you guys come up with it together? Tell us a little about how the whole thing came together for Cupid Fest, and congratulations on it, ladies.
Thank you.
Well, I think it was inspired by the trip that I took and the post that I put up and everything I already spoke about a little earlier, where Jennifer's like, when, woman, when? And other people are going, why don't you write it, Maggie? And I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. So when I got back home and back into class, and Jennifer and I started talking about it, we decided to head down the street and go sit down and think about what this could be. And we decided sisters will be sisters. And we do have a third sister in this, though, and she's the evil queen. She's a bossy pants. And
boy.
And so she gives us something to push off of, if you will. She's a bit of the antagonist, I guess you would say. And she feels like she's now the matriarch of the family. And so she insists that we don't go to Ireland, and that makes us want to go all the more. So
the more, right.
You know, but there's going to be some cute scenes of Jennifer we pray Jennifer and Maggie get these roles of Annie and Maeve. That's all I'm saying. I'd like that. And Annie is dealing with all these really bad dates in LA, just one after another, and they're hysterical. These guys are funny. And she's like, well, why would I want to go there? I can have my own bad dates here in LA. But I need a break because I'm not getting this character. Maeve is not getting along with her husband at the time. And she's like, before I pick up the phone and call an attorney, I think we need a girls trip. Let's go to Ireland. I hear this little matchmaking festival going on. And that's how we begin the story and the reason why we leave.
Wow. So would you say there's an overall message in the story with the wit and wisdom? Is there an overall message as well?
Absolutely. It's never too late to be the hero of your own coming of age story. That love is timeless. It doesn't matter whether you're, 16 or 60, love still feels the same. And it's never too late, to ask for what you want, whether it's you're in a long-term marriage and going, look, this is what I need to be happy, or whether you are single and just used to going off on a bad date after bad date after bad date. And you just go, look, this is what I need. And it is never too late to be the hero of your own coming of age story. And, the key to that is I think you need to love yourself first, because if you don't love yourself, how can anybody else love you? And it's all part of it. So that's kind of, but also it's a gorgeous road trip through Ireland, and it's filled with the charming, quirky characters that you can only find there. And so many of the stories that are in the script actually come from our own experiences, Ireland. And you're reading the script, you'll see that scene and go, that would never happen. An 85-year-old man wouldn't hop on his bicycle and lead you through the streets of, Kilkenny. But it did, So we took a lot of our own experiences of things that actually happened to us that are too funny, too zany, to even be true, but they are, and they found their way into the script. So
does it have maybe some slight essences of Grace and Frankie, Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda a little bit?
You're singing my song, sir. I mean, honestly, yeah, those two women, I'll never forget when Jane Fonda's character said, I just still want to be relevant, I mean, just because you're over 60, 70, and Jane is now 85, I mean, she's still relevant. She's still funny. She's, and I think that's important for women to know. And I think it's important young women know this. And I feel like there's, in England, they have a lot of female driven television shows, crime shows, and other, relationship shows and stuff. And in America, not so much anymore. We used to have a few, Murder, She Wrote, I guess, but we need to let young women know there's still something to look forward to. You can still be, go for what you want and be relevant well into your later years. And that's, to me, that's kind of the mission, is like, there's us wanting to get this movie done. But I think for me, the overall mission is to say women are still relevant and have something to add, and they're still alive and they still feel, I mean, Betty White talked about it too. If you ever look up her YouTube, you'll see she's quoted as, we're not dead. We still are alive and have a lot to offer, and still love and still hurt. And, you can fall in love and get a broken heart. Believe me, I saw my mom after my dad died. She had a boyfriend, and I didn't understand. There was a picture frame flat down on the dresser. And I asked my sisters, what's going on? What's that picture? It's a picture of an older man. And again, my dad had passed away. And then they said, oh, I think she's upset because things aren't working out right now with her and her boyfriend. And she was like 85.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. It's like, just because you're older doesn't mean you're smart. Feel like a young woman falling in love,
That's a beautiful story. So it's very inspiring. There's an inspirational message that goes along with the storyline and all of the wit and wisdom, humor, all of it, huh?
Yeah,
Isn't that
it is.
fantastic? It's perfect for now too. We need something like this, because a lot of this in different ways, shapes, and forms in society, you can see these conversations sort of bubbling up and trying to find focus and clarity. And this is one way to have an avenue towards that focus and clarity with the humor and the emotional storyline, and you're rooting for the characters, and that's a very special thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really is. I think that's the reason for it. And my hope is that it's so well received that, I mean, this is me. Jennifer hasn't signed up for this quite yet, but I think she'd be on board. My idea is, let's get this movie made and then take it on the road. Cupid Fest in France, Cupid Fest in Portugal, in
Yes.
Germany, in Taiwan. I don't know. Let's go. Let's go. Because
Yeah.
a Cupid Fest is needed all over the world. People everywhere want to find someone that's special, who loves and adores them, worships them, and you do the same with them. I mean, it's universal. So why not take this to all kinds of countries and help people find their perfect mate?
Exactly right.
It,
Yes.
it kind of, my Annie, my character in the film, I don't know if I'm giving away. I don't think I'm
If
spoiler
it
alert.
wasn't Annie, it would either be Annie, Mary, or Kathleen.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
she's a travel writer, and her focus, what she learns is writing travel books and travel guides for single women, because she is a single woman and has been for so long. And you have a choice. You can either sit home alone and don't go anywhere, or you go. And you either go by yourself, or you go with a couple of your girlfriends or whatever, and you just go. And that kind of mirrors my life, because that's one of the things that I do. In addition, I have a travel lifestyle blog that is geared towards single women, because in the Western world, over I think oh gosh, was it 47 or 53% of women of marriageable age are single, either because they never married, or through because of divorce, or a death or something. And there's really not a whole lot that focuses on that demographic. And so, yeah, that ties right in, Maggie. Let's take Annie's travel writing and take that on the road. So, let's do it.
All right. You heard it here. Another JMS exclusive. She said, yes, let's do it. I think we scored 3 or 4 exclusives. Tracy would be proud of us. Getting the scoop. What have you learned about yourselves individually in the making of this movie?
Things seem so much harder when you're on the front side of it. So much scarier when you're on the front side of it. But if you tackle that mountain one step at a time, and then you look back and you go, that wasn't a mountain. It was really just kind of like a hill.
Yeah.
So, just not to be afraid to do the hard things, not to be afraid to do the things that people say, you really shouldn't try that. Do the hard things, because time is your most valuable asset. And whatever you trade for this moment of time better be worth the cost. So do the hard things, do the things that scare you. And that's kind of what I learned. And there's a lot of scary stuff when you play in the big leagues, because you think these people that I'm in the big leagues have so much more whatever than I do. But then you get there and you're like, we're all the same. We're all the same. And I can do this. So just don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to do it. Don't be afraid to go for what you want.
How about you, Maggie?
Well, I'll tell you this. I think it's been very valuable for me to have a support team. First of all, Jennifer's, a godsend for me to be writing with. She's smart. She's funny. She's kind, and she's very good on the tech stuff. which I suck at. But on top of that,
But yet you were the first one to sign into our broadcast studio and you were ready to go. So you're getting better and better,
I was
Maggie.
worried. I was very worried. I had a group, Actors Fast Track, Valerie Hubbard and her team of people and the other students. And we're all trying to learn a new way of going about promoting yourself and meeting and networking and stuff. So I had this group. And I mean, even as recent as a few weeks ago, I was talking to Sarah, Val's assistant, and she's like, Maggie, you can do this. You can pick up the phone and you can call the agent of known celebrity and pitch this. You're a producer and you're a writer. Just go ask if you can, please send and you do it in the most polite way possible. I would love to have so-and-so be a part of the cast or direct, and would like to send you a pitch deck. And if there's interest, we can send you a script, blah, blah, blah. So it was like to have somebody like go, you can do this, go, push, and kind of push you out the door and make you just jump out of that airplane and fly, Mm-hmm. I think there's a nice definition of the word faith. Faith is when you take that leap and either two things will happen. Either you will land in a safe place or you will learn to fly. Mm. And so I think we just have to keep the faith, and just keep going, because what else am I'm going to get old anyway. I might as well do this. I might as well keep pursuing, because it's a good I want to swear so bad, but I won't. It's a good, heartwarming, uplifting. We need this kind of movie now. We do. I mean, so much crazy news and weather and blah, blah, blah. And people need to have a happy, maybe you'd call it escape, a release. I look at it as it's hopeful.
Yeah.
It's about love, and it's about the hope that you can have in the world if you just, put yourself out there. These two girls, these two sisters go to Ireland, one to kind of stave off picking up the phone and calling an attorney because she's so mad at her husband. She's so hurt by him. And the other sister, she doesn't want to go look for men in Ireland. She can have enough bad dates here. Am I right, JJ? I mean,
right.
That's how we wrote it. But, it's that they needed to go be with each other and explore this beautiful country of Ireland and meet all those wonderful people that live there. I mean, if you haven't been to Ireland, gosh, book a ticket and go. You will not be unhappy, because the people there will lift you up. And so that's why I just really think this is a movie that we need. We just do. It's just going to be a fun, lovely, relaxing time in the movie theater.
How long did it take to put it all together, from the initial germ of the idea to it's a wrap? How long was that process? And what was that process like?
Well, I think June 2018 is when I went on my trip and came home and talked to Jennifer. And by St. Patrick's Day of 2019, we had a read through of the movie with industry writers, producers, executive producers, actors, casting directors. And so we really felt like we had great feedback and we had great ideas on little changes to make. Everybody that reads this loves it. And so less than a year, I would say. And then it's just kind of all about, right now what do we do? And then COVID hit and we slowed down, and then we picked it back up because, we had time.
Was it all shot in Ireland?
We have not shot the feature yet, of course. We did a proof of concept here in LA, but that was it. And but the idea is, our Irish producers, we do have incredible, wonderful producers in Ireland who've worked with Jamie Dornan and Jason O'Mara, and they're fantastic. And they really understand. You have to have an Irish production company in order to shoot in Ireland. And these people are kind-hearted and smart, and they know what they're doing. And they've taken us on, and we are so grateful. And now it's a matter of we got to go out and find investors who want to not only do this movie, but have the option of maybe getting us to write another few wonderful road trips, all with the hope of meeting the love of your life.
Do you see this as possibly something that could turn into a series?
TV series?
Or internet, streaming, the way everything's going these days? Any kind of like ongoing series?
I haven't considered television, but believe me, show me the check. We will change our mind.
Show me the money.
I see it as like a franchise of movies. This year it's kind of like it was the Greek movie. My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Right. Yeah.
Several of those, and then she did a sort of she was a travel. She took people to Greece. Anyway, something along that kind of series. Funny, lighthearted, about family and love and sisterhood. And
there's the three sisters. There's such kind of dysfunction between these three sisters that pushes them apart, but they also love each other. So there's always that unbreakable bond, but also the thing that pushes them apart. So it's this really compelling kind of push and pull that I think would work well for a lot of different scenarios. So I think that these characters would translate well to other situations and other films.
And I should come up with the name Cupid Fest.
Well, here's how people were like trying to, I was trying to explain to people what it was that this little town I drove through, and I couldn't think fast enough to say matchmaking festival. So I said, it's like a Cupid Fest.
Cupid Fest.
This came to me, and I
think it's great.
I like it.
There's just something about Cupid. It's always, it's a great word. It's like, it's not offensive. It's sort of cute. It makes you think of, I don't know, Valentine's Day, love, Cupid Fest.
And it's fun. It's a fun character,
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Like, I've been going through many years of waiting for Cupid to strike. So it's been a fest of lots of Cupids, and hopefully you find the one.
Yeah.
Hopefully one of these days.
He'd be a lucky guy, girlie.
Thank you.
Maggie, what was
so great that way.
Maggie, what was it like? I'll ask each of you. Maggie, what was it like working with Jennifer on this, and still is? And what do you think she brings to the table? And then I'll ask you, Jennifer, same thing with Maggie.
Well, first of all, when we would rehearse these scenes, it was a joy because, we rehearse, but all of a sudden it's like she would just come to the room and it would be so real and so fun that it made just playing a lot easier, and just it was just a joy. And then in terms of the writing of it, it was like, I always look forward to our writing sessions. Before Zoom, we were driving. I was driving from northern LA County. She's driving from southern LA County. It's a big county and a lot of traffic. And we would meet like at a Panera and we would work through lunch. They don't kick you out. So then we'd stay so long writing. We'd end up having dinner there. I mean, it was crazy what we used to do until Zoom came along. But those were, I cherished that stuff. It was just fun to like mind meld over like what went on the paper, and then this could happen. Oh yeah, but we need to do, because Jennifer was really good at we had learned the 9 points of storytelling, which I could not. Please don't ask me what are they. But Jennifer would be, okay, so we're this many pages in, so now we need to make sure that we get blah 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 done. I mean, she understands final cut, final draft. See, I don't even know the name of it. I mean, she knew how to do that, and so she made everything easier, and just he was yummy. I love
Yeah.
writing.
I wasn't going to ask for all 9, but do you know number 5?
Oh, 5. Oh, well,
5 golden
that's
rings,
dinner.
4 calling birds, 3 French heads. You know how that goes, right?
Very good.
And Jennifer, don't feel any pressure now after that wonderful glowing
Right?
in working with Maggie, and also some of the things that obviously she brings to bear with this fabulous project. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So yeah, we rehearsed a lot of these scenes as as we were writing them, and then we'd rehearse them to see kind of how they would sound and feel as we're doing them. And it's probably very actorly to say, but there are some actors that you work with that you feel like you're that you're playing against a brick wall or cardboard or something, and it takes a lot of energy
Getting
to
it.
do.
Yeah.
But then there are actors who just give you stuff. They just give of themselves, and they're selfless in what they give you. And that was Maggie. Maggie, working opposite Maggie was not work, because she would give you so much to play with that you could just give it right back. And it was just this wonderful kind of give and take. And Maggie talked about being natural. And that's why, because when we were working together, it was just natural, and that kind of magic happens when you kind of click like that. And then as a writer, I cherish those Panera times. That Panera in Santa Monica, thank you. I think they might get a special thank you in our credits, because they did not kick us out. And man, but we laughed and
The
laughed.
broccoli and cheese soup, or
They have this the autumn squash one. It was so, oh my gosh, so good.
That
Um,
sounds pretty good.
and we would just laugh and laugh and laugh. And at the end of every
Kinda like
writing
sisters,
session,
yeah.
I would have to just kind of pull the muscles in my face, because they were sore from laughing so much. So that was writing with Maggie. Just laugh, laugh, laugh.
And then, because we have a computer and 2 women there, remember we'd have guys come up and go, "Oh, what are you doing?" And then they'd sit down and we'd say, "We're writing a script." "Oh, well, I'm an actor." And
Yeah.
they would
Instant auditioning at Panera.
Yeah. That might be
One guy is doing soft shoe on the left side, the other one's juggling, and the other one is reciting Shakespeare, and you're just trying to get through your soup and sandwich.
Yeah.
we got so many
bad dates, wouldn't they, JJ?
so many. We had
That
so
was a
many
Cupid
guys.
fest.
Yeah, we did. We had so many guys coming up and talking to us, and we're like, "Is this I didn't know Panera was like a pickup joint," but
Yeah, I tell you, it's
yeah.
that is amazing. So again, it's something that is there, and then time to now take it to that next level. How is there a mindset as far as where eventually this will hopefully be seen? Will it be streamed, television, theaters, any and all? What's the hope for it?
Well, that's it. It's a hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our-
Go ahead.
Our ultimate hope is, theatrical release. It really, and all the people that have vetted it have said this will do well theatrically. So that's kind of our blue sky hope, is a theatrical release, and then distribution through a streaming platform. But none of that stuff is set in stone yet. We're open to kind of anything at this point. So we have options.
So if people want to learn more, say there are investors or just want to learn more about the project, is there a website? Is there a place that they can go to learn more about the film itself?
We have the Facebook page, Cupid Fest Film, on Facebook, and we will be putting together a website. It's not live yet, but it's in process, so that we'll have some teasers and things like that on there.
Like cupidfest.com or something possibly, or
Yep.
Cool.
That's actually it.
Cupidfest.com, and Cupid Fest Film is the Facebook page, right?
Yeah. And you could reach either Maggie or I through that. And
Great.
Maggie and I both have our own websites. Maggie Egan-Cummings, Maggie in LA. What is your website? Why don't I know that?
Maggie Egan, Maggie, followed by another EGAN. So Maggie Egan and then LA.com. MaggieEganLA.com is my website.
And I'm JenniferLynnO'Hara.com, and our contact information is on there as well.
It's all on the sites as well.
Yeah.
So aside from this project, anything that you are also individually working on that you're excited about that you would want to share, perhaps?
JJ, you go first. You got a lot.
Yeah, I do. I've got another rom-com that is it's headed towards the Hallmark way, and it's a story of a woman who has been jilted. Her fiance has left her, and so she throws her energy into the restoration of an old Victorian home, and inadvertently falls in love with the man who's trying to evict her. The only problem is that he's been dead for 100 years.
That's it.
So I've got a series that is kind of like a Good Girls meets Leverage. There's the wife, the ex-wife, and the mistress team up, become unlikely partners and friends, and to uncover an accidental investigators, and they uncover a human trafficking ring that hits a little bit too close to home. So that's a 60-minute, it's an hour drama series that is being. Yeah.
That's incredible. So lots going on. How about you, Maggie? You always have things in the fire.
Well, I've got another script that's complete but needs some rewrites, so I'm going to work on that. But it's a funny action comedy. The premise is two best friends from, when they were kids through high school are estranged in high school because one gets into cheerleading and the other doesn't. You know how these little things go.
Yeah.
And then, but decades later, they finally find out how to communicate to each other because they've lost contact, and they decide that they want to meet up again. So they meet up in Vegas, and one is just this one is a kids party performer, plays, used to play Cinderella, and now her mother tells her, it's time you change to being like Mother Goose or something. Yeah. And then the other one has been a mystery. No one in the high school knew where she went or what she did, and it turns out she had become a spy.
JMS exclusive.
Mm-hmm. So when they get together, the spy thing is not exactly announced or brought up, but they go to stiletto spy school together and learn how to do all kinds of spy things. Interestingly enough, the one who was the party performer was really bad at all of this, but the one who had become a spy is amazing at it. Anyway, then we complicate and find something for them to go out. They have this amazing what would you say? Go after some known spy and try and keep an eye on him. So it's cute. Sounds
cool.
It's like broad comedy. It's fun. You'll see things.
Is that brocom? Like rom-com?
Brocom, siscom.
Broad comedy.
No, brocom. Yes, it's kind of brocom. Yeah.
I forgot to. I haven't even told Maggie this.
JMS exclusive.
I'm
just in.
I'm shooting 2 films coming up, one in October and one in January. I haven't even told you that. I'm shooting a film in October called Dad's Gone Wild. And then I'm shooting a film in February called Revealing Grace. And it's a story of a woman's descent into alcoholism and homelessness and her eventual recovery. So I forgot to tell you, Maggie, I got two.
Oh, congratulations! As long as it's not
Congratulations.
September,
That's
because
great.
we're going to Ireland in September.
Oh,
We're
you
going to
are?
Ireland.
We're going to
Mhm.
go meet with the producers. We're going to do a little location scouting. Hopefully, we're going to meet with some Irish directors, and we're so jazzed about this.
Yeah. In
Congratulations.
3 weeks, I think we leave, Maggie, right?
Yeah, September 12th.
That's
Something-
exciting. That's
Yeah.
cool.
I
Now-
also have a movie coming out.
Oh, you do?
I do. It's called No No Girl, and it just premiered at the Japanese American Museum in downtown LA to rave reviews, standing room only. It was great. And it'll be appearing at the Glendale Laemmle theaters coming this September. In fact, I think I'm going to be there either September 9th or 10th, just before we leave for Ireland. And so if you're
Busy, lots of travel, huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you had any issues with travel at all? I know it's been crazy with the airlines. I was on a TV shoot 2 weeks ago in Milwaukee for the TV News Magazine show I do in New York, and the shoot was great and wonderful. The whole thing. We were interviewing a doctor who's doing advanced cancer treatment, and she was wonderful, and we worked with her many times. But the plane from Milwaukee to the transfer, there's hardly any nonstops anywhere anymore. The transfer was to be Baltimore, Washington Airport. So I guess there were storms that came through the East Coast, and we were getting all these texts, everybody in the airport, about all these delays and cancellations that were happening everywhere. And the plane that was supposed to leave from Milwaukee to the transfer Baltimore, then to take us back up north here, was delayed about 5 hours. Okay, that happens, weather. But then they canceled the flight that we were supposed to take leaving Baltimore to go north. So everybody all over, they were canceling flights to Dallas and to here and there. And we made it to Baltimore, and everybody there, whoever ended up transplanted at the airport in Baltimore, was then stuck the rest of the night for 8 hours overnight with nothing open, not even the McDonald's. Everything was closed. The airport was freezing. Saw a couple mice running around, and people were laying on the floor sleeping, wrapped in blankets. Yeah, it was an interesting, it was a Twilight Zone episode, and you really can't sleep, and they're of course they're waxing the floors, and they're testing the alarms. There's no comfort or convenience. And then finally got the flight 6:47 in the morning back, and then they lost the luggage. Which they eventually found. They flew it. It's the luggage for everybody. Hundreds of pieces of luggage for all the different flights were stuck in Baltimore. So they said, you know what, we'll fly the people home, we'll figure the luggage out, and then we'll fly the luggage. So our luggage, they said, could be on the next flight, which would be noon or 1 o'clock or the 2 or the 4 or the 6 or the 8 or the midnight. So we figured, well, okay, it's midnight. We haven't heard anything. Going to go to bed, start falling to sleep. 20 after 12 a.m. The phone rings. We have your luggage. We'd like to come get it. An hour drive to the airport. I said, is there any way you could just hold it, put it in the corner? We'll come in the morning. Oh, sure. No problem. So we got it in the morning. There were about 500 pieces of luggage sitting there unclaimed that got all mixed up, and they gave us a voucher to a future flight. And, those things happen. It's just what's going on with the airlines right now is crazy. And I'm going to Reno, Nevada. I'm going to Sacramento, California, Dallas, Texas, and Fort Lauderdale, Florida, September, October for other television shoots. So I'm kind of like,
I don't know.
What's cool? The doctor in Milwaukee, she bakes twice a week. And she had me after we were done with the shoot. Camera guy went back to, I think he came up from Chicago. I was still in Milwaukee, and we became friends of the family. So they took me all around Wisconsin. It was really nice. And she wanted me to come back to the office before I was heading to the airport. She gives me this fresh baked huge loaf of sourdough bread. She says, I bake twice. I said, how do you have time with everything you do, doctor? She says, that's what I do. It's a tradition. I bake, and I always bake the sourdough bread too. So here, you can have the sourdough bread, take it with you. I was so happy that that sourdough bread was in the carry-on
Oh, God.
and not in the lost luggage.
Mhm.
But what I didn't do, she said, you didn't open it when you were in the airport sitting in the chair, did you? And I said, no, because if I opened that carry-on with that sourdough bread in it at like 2 o'clock in the morning and the aroma of the sourdough bread filled, I would have been mugged.
You would have been Lord of the Flies. You would have
I mean,
had.
normally it's my personality to share it with everybody, but you know, you have people who have been trapped in an airport for 8 hours. I would have been mugged.
Yeah.
Especially if you'd also had some butter with you.
If there was some butter. Exactly. So you guys are funny. You're a delight. You're very talented and exciting. You know, the careers that you've had and continue to have. And one of the things too that I want to make mention as well, I know with you, Maggie, you like to mentor and teach and direct kids. And that's such a cool thing. Tell us about some of that.
Well, for several years, I was helping underprivileged kids in the San Fernando Valley. Kids who, some kids had been coming there since they were little, and now they were in their like 20 years old or something, and they were coming back to help the younger kids from their neighborhoods. They worked with us as, you know, directors. To have the kids get up and we got them doing improv. We got them writing their own stories as a group. They helped build sets. I mean, we had little to no budget. So it was like, okay, I can get some cardboard. If we can get some paint, we will put this together. But they came out so cute. We'd have an arch with a cloud over the archway, and, you know, and we had them doing knock jokes. I mean, just like anything to get them feeling like confident, because one thing I can tell you is that acting, even if you don't decide to do it as your chosen career, your passion, as kids, it's really important to get that exposure to doing live theater, because nothing can be scarier than speaking in front of other people. So it'll help them, no matter what line of work they end up going into, to get over the fear of speaking as yourself to an audience. It's a lot. It's huge. It's very helpful. So we really helped encourage these kids to come out of their bubble and come out of their shyness and perform. So that was great. And other times I've been asked to go up to Ventura County and work with the children of migrant farm workers in their schools, schools that didn't have a lot of money for extracurricular activities. So my friend Linda Miller grabbed some friends of hers who had different careers and stuff, and they would, like, one was a photographer and another one did bookkeeping. What didn't matter. It was like to give these kids, open their eyes as to other, you know, what the possibilities are for them. So I would work with them and get them doing improv, and it was fun to see them come alive. And I just really can't express enough how important it is, I think, for a well-rounded student to be able to do some theater and to be able to speak in front of people.
That's amazing. That's beautiful too. Have you had opportunities similar to that, Jennifer, over the years?
Yeah, you know, when I was with the Disney organization also for many years, and one of the programs that I headed up for a couple of years was a program that worked with at-risk high school kids. And it took them through a lot of job skills that they would need just entering the workforce. You know, how to interview for a job, how to look for a job, how to apply for a job, how to dress for an interview, what to say. We would go through mock interviews, and so that when they did start to go out there and start to look for work and get in the workforce, it was a little less scary for them. And so that was one of the things. And we also, we did a lot of other things that would help to develop their life skills and like speaking in public, which I second what Maggie says. There's a lot of people who have taken acting classes with absolutely zero intention of becoming an actor, only because it really helps them in every other part of business, because eventually you're going to have to present to somebody or have a meeting with somebody or be able to speak on a subject with some measure of expertise, and having those acting skills in your back pocket really help to A, make it less scary, and B, help you be a little bit more prepared and look a lot more professional when you're doing that. So yeah.
So cool. You mentioned Disney. How long did you work with Disney?
little over 10 years.
Wow. Last night we had the cast from the 89-90 MMC 30, the Disney Mickey Mouse Club Mouseketeers were on our show last night. All the ones that starred on that series, the 90s, late 80s, 90s remake, they were here. And it was really cool. They're just great. We're talking about all the cool things they're doing now. And they're actually a part of this really cool thing in LA. They're going to be performing at the Be Great Humanitarian Awards in Los Angeles, in Anaheim, where Disneyland is, on September 9th. And they're all going to perform and sing, and really cool thing, huh?
Wow, I should say, I probably advertised them when I was the person for Disney.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. They were, there was Chasen and Rona. Rona is now with En Vogue, and Chasen was with that Pop You Party. Tony Luca and Dee Dee Mango Hall, all fantastic. And it was just really cool to see, the cool things that they're doing and what they're up to, and cool stuff, huh? Yeah. So that's the humanitarian wars that they're doing, and that's nice. Giving back is really important, and helping in any way that you can is important. I'm big with that too. I love to do that. We need that, with all the successes and things that come our way, to give back. It's a beautiful thing. Not everybody does, but that's my ilk. And obviously you guys believe in that too.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Who also enjoyed this conversation? You mentioned something earlier, Maggie, about, or was it Jennifer, about the collection. Some people collect the Barbie dolls, and they go to all these shows and conventions like that.
Yeah, it's about the doll web series.
Yeah, I had an aunt who for years, she collected all kinds of dolls. And some really serious dolls, real collector dolls. And one, we actually put on a nostalgic episode. I think we were talking about old TV shows and childhoods about 2 years ago on the Jim Master Show. And one got passed down to me, the audience, the lovely viewers. They fell in love with this doll that I showed once. And towards the latter part of our episodes, he pops in. He's usually sitting right here below, like an associate producer, with his cigar and his martini. And then he pops in towards the end. Here's ours, Mr. George Burns.
Oh, George Burns.
I was going to do it when you said dolls. I said, you know what? I'll wait to the finish, because he's used to coming on towards the latter part. He's got his cigar, his red pocket square. So this got passed down to me through the family. And he popped on and he said, you guys knocked it out of the park tonight. He loved the conversation. He sends you his love from himself and from Gracie. And he wishes you much success with Cupid Fest. And he's, if you want to take him out for a drink or two, he is available right now.
I go to bed with George Burns every night.
Excuse me?
I do.
Can you verify that?
I do. There's
He said we can consider that another JMS exclusive.
There's a classic TV station here that plays the
Burns and Allen show. Yeah, like Decades or Antenna TV or one of those. Cozy TV, Me TV, all those great nostalgic networks, huh?
I go to sleep with George Burns every night.
Does he snore?
I don't know. I'm asleep before he
Well, he sends his love. He said you guys knocked it out of the park. I hope the show met whatever expectations you had, and you enjoyed the time with me as much as I have with you, Jennifer, and you, Maggie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jim.
A blast. This is a joy. Thank you very much.
We're so grateful to be on your show. We are so grateful to be, new Lovity members,
Yes,
and
you
we're just
are.
thrilled to be here. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in.
We say it all the time. We say, there's Oscars and Emmys and Grammys and Tonys and Tellys and Peabodys. But when you get, which the viewers have already said multiple times, designated as Lovities on the Jim Master Show Live, how does it make you feel? Are your feet, most guests say their feet start tingling. Are your feet tingling about now, ladies?
Head to toe tingle.
That sounds real weird, but I know what you mean because I have that too.
Yeah, you're tingling too.
My cheeks are tired. I've been so happy for so long. No, my cheeks are tired.
Joan Sando says, thank you, Maggie, Jennifer, you both. So lovely. I wish you all the luck with your adventures, especially in beautiful Ireland, God's beautiful island. And Maureen agrees with Joan, and Maureen is in Arizona. I agree 100%. Joan, they really make a great team and their future is bright. So much success ahead. She also says, this has been such a great conversation. It's been fun getting to know you ladies. My wish is that you have continued success, safe travels to the Emerald Isle. Kathleen Walker, New York City, loves the violins on your wall, Jennifer. And says, thank you, Jennifer and Maggie, for being here and sharing your life with us. Absolutely. Thanks for all these great comments pouring in here, gang. We love it. You guys are great. Any final words about our show, conversation, or anything else you want to share before we wrap?
I am a Jim Masters fan, and I'm going to be, I'm going to be a new Lovity member. I'm going to tune into the Jim Masters show because you're just amazing.
I can't wait to spread the word about this show. I'm sorry I didn't know about it until Chris Gorman told me about it, and I'm just amazed and grateful beyond belief to have been asked to be on your show. And this has been a great showcase for us. I so appreciate it. It's such a service that you do for artists, to get the word out about who they are and what they're creating. Jim, thank you from the bottom of my heart. So nice.
The pleasure is all mine.
And Maggie, I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here, but don't you think that Jim Masters would make a great bad date in the Cupid?
He would, except he'd be a great date, and you know that.
Acting. He'd be a great. I just think he'd be a great addition. I'm just saying.
Maggie, she's turned purple again.
I can't hide it.
What was the actress that turned purple in Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory? Remember?
Oh, Veruca Salt.
Yeah,
became like the Violet or whatever, and she chewed the gum, and she became.
Remember?
Blueberry, whatever.
Sammy Davis Jr. This was fantastic. Well, thanks for the kind words. I really appreciate that. And as my Irish father, has always said, he said this when we were kids and still says it, actually Jimmy, because I'm the fifth James. So Jimmy, he goes, whenever anybody says something kind or nice to you, always make sure you ask them to put it in writing and address it management.
All right.
Which will cycle right here. You guys are the best. And Maureen welcomes you to the Lovity Squad. You're official.
Thank
Lovity
you,
Squad on the Jim Masters Show Live. You guys, thanks for all the great time. Really continued blessings with Cupid Fest. And we'll be looking for you on all the other shows and productions. Let's definitely stay in touch. New friendship made here. Spread the word about our show. If you know other folks you think would like to pop on as guests, they're all welcome. And a safe flight and trip and experience back in Ireland. And we'll keep that porch light on for you. You're welcome back anytime.
Sweet.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. You take care, okay?
Bye, Lovity family.
Bye-bye. Take care, Jennifer Lynn O'Hara and Maggie Egan-Cummings. Thanks for being here as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Right here on the Jim Masters Show Live, entertainment, lifestyle, variety talk show series where we're bringing back the lost art of conversation, old school style, Carson Cavett, Mike Douglas, Merv Griffin, Regis Philbin, all those legends, but with a modern twist, modern vibe of today. You can see hundreds and hundreds of episodes of our series, something like 750 right here on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. If this was your first time watching, thank you very much for spending time with us. We'll be back tomorrow night. And wow, tomorrow night, also coming from California, we have somebody very popular. Scott Gardner is joining us, dance pop singer, songwriter, model, and so much more. Everybody's excited. He's going to be with us tomorrow live, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on the Jim Masters Show Live. Did you see when Angela Cartwright was with us recently? You know, she, of course, starred in Lost in Space. She was in The Sound of Music with Christopher Plummer and Julie Andrews. She was also Lisa on the Danny Thomas Show. She was with us recently. From the Fifth Dimension, Florence LaRue, founding member, lead singer. She was with us as well. Game show announcer extraordinaire and so much more. Randy West was with us. The Pointer Sisters, Marion Ross. I mean, Patty Davis, daughter of President Ronald Reagan and Nancy Reagan, was with us talking about Alzheimer's and talking about this fabulous book that she wrote on that subject, and so much more. We also have coming up on Thursday, actress, writer, and solo performer Heather Massey. She does this extraordinary solo one-woman show paying homage to Hedy Lamarr, legendary film actress. She is touring, Heather, as Hedy around the world. She has dates that are all across the United States. She's in Canada, she's in Europe, she's in South Africa, she's in Asia with this show, The Life and Adventure and Inventions of Hedy Lamarr. She's going to be with us on Thursday. Heather as Hedy on Thursday. That's going to be absolutely amazing. We thank again our very special guests on this episode of the Jim Masters Show Live, Maggie Egan-Cummings and Jennifer Lynn O'Hara, acclaimed actresses, writers. I mean, they do it all, and they do it well. Just want to mention, too, official selection in the Houston Comedy Film Festival 2022. We're talking about, of course, Cupid Fest. And again, if you want to learn more, go to the websites, go to the Facebook page as well, Cupid Fest Film, learn more about it. Sounds really cool, doesn't it? It sounds absolutely cool. Great friends, great creatives, putting their heads together and coming up with something really cool and really, really special. Got some other great shows. Look at this. There's Maggie in there. This was in Seinfeld. You see her on the right. There's Jerry, and there's, yeah, isn't that great? Look at this one. Mm-hmm. And this one. Yes. Matter of fact, Maggie's still there. What do we ask her about these? Maggie, tell us about this one.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we hear you.
This is a shot from The Mentalist.
Yeah.
I'm here with Robin Tunney. And I playing the mother of a young woman, an actress who had been murdered. So I'm having a conversation with Robin Tunney's character to point her in the direction of an old boyfriend I thought might have been the guilty party.
Wow. And how about this one?
Oh, that was on Grey's Anatomy. That's Ellen Pompeo. And my director was, oh no, why do I do this? You know, you get panicky and then you can't think.
Right.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you later. It'll come to me. Anyway,
Yeah.
It was a joy. It was such a joy to work on that show. Ellen was so nice. I mean, she saw me, she's talking to me and we're talking about shoes. And she goes, well, if those shoes aren't comfortable, let's have wardrobe. Go get you your own shoes. I'm like, I love this woman. I mean, she's like, oh yeah, you got to take care of yourself on a set.
That's so
like,
cool, huh?
Really nice.
And Seinfeld.
That's when Jerry and Julia Louis-Dreyfus are cracking each other up and they couldn't get through the scene. And I finally, at some point after take whatever it was, let's say 10 or 12, whatever it was, I just turn and look at the camera and towards the director and shrug my shoulders and hold my hands up like, what do I do? It was fun. It was fun.
I saw those. I said, I want to make sure I throw those in, but I'd rather have you describe it. And then I mentioned this too, which was kind of cool about Cupid Fest. Tell us about that.
Well, it's a very popular festival.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the biggest of all the ones that Michael Fair, who runs this festival, he does many of them. And it's the biggest one he has is the Houston Comedy Film Festival. So to have been an official selection was high praise to get in that group. And then we've got another one coming up for the Broad Humor Film Festival. Broad as in ladies, broad humor. So it's like a female driven kind of festival. And we are up for a best rom-com in that festival coming up in September in Pasadena.
Fantastic. That is so cool. That is so cool. When I was on a TV shoot driving through the area, I said, I'm going to take the car and there's a house I've got to see, because HGTV at that time was renovating it. Some of my friends that work at HGTV were involved in that project. And that was the renovation of the Brady Bunch house, which was incredible what they did, turning it into actually a replica of what was on the Paramount lot inside and out. Yeah. And then I said, I've got to find the house in Pasadena that was used in the TV series Family with Sada Thompson and James Broderick, Christy McNichol, Meredith Baxter Burney, Quinn Cummings, and Gary Frank. And that house actually sits there. It's a real house, beautiful property. And that was so cool too. That was a great series, Family.
Do you remember, no, not Leave It to Beaver, but the family, it was a whole family. Oh gosh.
Father Knows Best.
Oh, Father Knows Best. Yes.
Robert Young and Jane Wyatt.
Okay. And what was the other one where the son ends up being Rick Nelson? The Nelsons? What was that?
Oh, show? The Nelson. There was, there's the Partridge Family, Shirley Jones, David Cassie, and then there was Ozzie and Harriet.
Ozzie and Harriet. So Ozzie and Harriet house is in Hollywood, and it was just up the street from where I lived for 9 years in Hollywood. And it's this beautiful, big old mansion-y kind of thing. I mean, on TV, it just looks like your average little house, but it was sizable. Really cool. And that was just up the street from where I used to live. Very cool.
Wow, that's amazing. Thanks again, Maggie. And we already had this pre-planned. She was planning to come back on to tell us about those pictures, folks. This wasn't ad hoc. This was planned.
Interested in everything you're saying. So
that's it.
You have so much stored information about entertainment. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You know the dividing line for the W stations and the K stations for TV and radio, right?
Mississippi River?
Yes, exactly. Except for a couple of funky ones, like I think was it KQED and KYW in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. Isn't that something? That's
you know where my sister Tracy used to work was WRGB in Schenectady, which was the first television station.
Is that Channel 6?
Yes, it was. I don't know if it still is.
Channel 6.
They switched when ownership. Anyway.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Everything's all consolidated now. Good stuff. Well, thanks, Maggie. We appreciate it. And again, continued success with everything to you and to Jennifer. And let's stay in touch. We'll see you again soon. Okay, my friend?
I would love that. Thank you so much, Jim. This has been a blast. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care.
Okay. Bye.
Bye now. And Jennifer's waving. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Anything you want to add to that about the call letters east or west of the Mississippi? Or
Mississippi. Yep. We're good.
That's it.
I did such a fun. I didn't know you were there.
I don't know. I think the three of us should go on the road together. We'd be hilarious.
I agree.
Sign me up.
Was it 2 guys, a girl, and a pizza? I mean, I forgot how the whole thing works.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I forgot that whole thing.
Place, then it became 2 guys, a girl. Yeah, that was kind of Ryan Reynolds' breakout role. And man,
I do have a question for you. The Daddy's Gone Wild, is that being filmed in South Beach, Miami?
No, but I am going to take off my shirt.
What?
Hang on. We actually slipped in another JMS exclusive.
Wow.
Right in the end there. Wow.
Topless? You'll be topless.
I will be covered, but
look at Maggie's face.
No.
I'm so overjoyed to hear this. This is great stuff.
It's going to be the illusion of being au naturel.
Okay.
I hear a little Stevie Wonder, overjoyed.
Get it on. Yeah.
That's it. All right, gang. Another round for the ladies.
Wow.
We'll see you again soon. This is the official goodbye.
All right.
We don't say goodbye around here. We say slancha. See you later.
Oh,
Slancha.
that's what we say, slancha. The Irish say it. Just say cheers, slancha.
Exactly. Cheers.
Slancha.
And we'll
Thank
see
you so
you.
much, Jim.
All right.
Bye,
Take care.
JJ.
Bye. Mwah.
Bye. Bye, Jim.
Bye-bye. A little encore there on the Jim Masters Show live. We had a couple of those photos there and wanted to make sure that we got them in with Maggie. Really cool stuff. We appreciate them being here. A little bonus extra there for you, Maggie and Jennifer. They're real sports right here on the Jim Masters Show. Guys, if you loved this episode, make sure you give it a thumbs up like on our YouTube channel. There is actually a thumbs up icon on the YouTube channel. Click the thumbs up icon, leave a comment on the actual YouTube channel. When you do that, it actually helps the algorithm at YouTube, and YouTube sees all that interactivity. They take this episode and they blast it out even further. We reach an international audience, yeah, but it allows our show and our series, the Jim Masters Show Live series, to be seen by even more people. So when you give it a thumbs up like and you leave a comment underneath each episode, we love that. We appreciate that. And it also allows our episodes to be seen by even more people. Maureen says, love the encore. So did I. That was a little bonus surprise there. Maureen also says, Jim, every single show is a sensation. Thank you for making Levity Hall such a wonderful place to land at the end of the day. Please do as you say and take care of yourself. I know I always tell everybody to do that as well. Thank you, Maureen. And that's coming from Nurse Maureen in Arizona. So doctor's orders. What nice ladies. Thanks, Jim. Great show from Kathleen Walker in New York City. Thanks, everybody, for all your comments. And we'll be back tomorrow again. Scott Gardner is going to be here. Looking forward to that episode. Very popular. He has sung with Billie Eilish, Lizzie, some of the top performers of the day, dance pop singer and songwriter and model. Scott Gardner is here with us tomorrow on the Jim Masters Show. So we hope you join us as well. Again, we don't say goodbye around here. We say see you later, slancha, cheers, ciao, shalom, avidazain, hasta la vista, moi loop, and take care and be well. Don't forget, gang, as we always say, take care of yourself as much as you take care of everybody else. Take care of one another, be good to one another, love one another. Make sure you take care of yourself. As the ladies did say, you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of the rest of the world. I had to learn that too, always running to take care of the rest of the world first. So make sure you take care of yourself first. For all of us here, Jim Masters, thanking you for your time this time till next time. Thanks for all these great comments coming up here. We really appreciate all that. And we'll see you on the next episode of the Jim Masters Show Live. Take care and be well. See you again soon. Thanks for being with us. Cheers.